Hello, friends. It's me, Christiana Gaudet, and it is time for Global Tarot Circle. We are live on YouTube, and I'm happy to see you here as you come into the room. Dory, Kim, Lynette, Claire C., I see you, and I'm glad that you are here. Dave, nice to see you. So this is one of three meetups, three tarot meetups that we're doing each month during COVID on YouTube, and I'm so grateful that you're here. And Erin is here for the first time, so let's give her a great welcome. So, if you have your cards, get them shuffled. As people are coming into the room, I will just make some announcements. First of all, this Saturday we have a free class. Every month we're doing 3 meetups and 2 classes, all free, right here on YouTube. So the class is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So those of you on the West Coast will have to set your alarms and get up to join us. It's a 1-hour class, Getting Real with the Suit of Pentacles. And so we'll be studying for an hour. We'll be studying the Suit of Pentacles, just like it sounds. So I hope you will join us for that. I also know a lot of you have been following what's going on with StarCon, our brand new tarot conference. We have made the announcement, and we are making plans to bring StarCon 2021, which is scheduled for January 22nd through 24th, and was originally scheduled to be in Palm Beach Gardens. It's going to be online only for this year. It will be an annual conference in 2022. We already have our dates. It's that same weekend in January. And yes, someone will tell me that Mercury will be in retrograde during that time, and it's true. But you know what? You can't do an annual tarot conference the same weekend every year and not hit Mercury retrograde at some point. So we thought we might as well get it over with, right? So for 2022, it will be hybrid. If you can make it to Palm Beach Gardens, we'd love to see you there. But you'll also be able to attend online. So we will have our online tickets going on sale this month. And if you want to learn more about our speakers and what we're going to be doing, make sure while you're here on YouTube that you subscribe to StarCast, STAARCAST. This is our new podcast. You can download the audio wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch us on video, which is kind of fun. And basically, StarCast is the podcast where I interview our StarCon presenters. And it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be fun. And this week we are choosing sort of our platform. The platform we'll be doing it on virtually, and it will be robust. We're going to be able to have our psychic fair. We're going to be able to have vendors. We're going to be able to do the whole thing online. So you're going to have to bring your own food and wine. That's really the bottom line. But we will have lounges where we can hang out and talk. It's going to be not just like being in person, because I can't give you a hug, and that makes me sad. But it'll be so close to being just as good. You know, it'll be pretty darn close. So I am very, very excited about this. And we will have tickets on sale, and the vendor area, the psychic fair, and a few classes will be available for free as well. So if you want to get your feet wet first without having to invest, you will be able to. And so there will be no excuse not to participate. So I do expect everyone to participate. All right. So we have a few people coming on in. Anna, nice to see you. Irene, glad you're here. SJ. Dave says some days he feels like he's in retrograde. Gypsy Jade, so glad you're here. Brenda Elizabeth, and Brenda Elizabeth is one of our presenters. Celeste, so nice to see you. You know, when Tarot Circle first started, Tarot Circle started years ago in Connecticut, which is where, I'm actually from New York, but my business is from Connecticut, right? That's where it started. And Celeste came to some of our very first tarot classes and tarot meetups. So it's so great to see you here today. Julia, nice to see you. Jake 5345, that's Robin, glad you're here. And Ann Burns is here for the very first time. We have a few first timers. So let's give our first timers a really warm welcome. So glad that you're here. Richard Murphy, so nice to see you. Angela, so glad you're here. Laura, Kathy Levin, glad you're here. Sarah, nice to see you. So good to see everybody here. Lori Hahn, glad you're here. I know, Celeste says don't date us. I know. But it's, you see me, you see the time that has passed. It is true. And I value the fact that we've known each other for so long. I really do. So, to get started, here's the format. We'll be here for an hour. And in the first half hour, Linda, nice to see you here. We have a couple of Lindas here today. Kim Morris, nice to see you. Lisa McCord, Amy Mauser. Amy threatened to be here, and she made good on her threat. Good to see her. She and her husband, Ryan, are actually the producers of the StarCast podcast. And Amy will be a presenter at StarCon. Celeste says it's only a number. Yeah, it's a number and a lot of experience. Yeah, can't beat that. All right, so here's what we do. For the first half hour, we read for each other. And in the second half hour, we do some tarot study and conversation. And so first of all, to start, thank you all for coming in and saying hi. Tell us where you are in the world and what deck you're working with. Sally Larkin is here, and her mom Dolly is here too. And I've known them even longer than I've known Celeste. So there is that. Dora, nice to see you. So go ahead, tell us where in the world you are. We love being global. Where in the world you are. And oh, Karen Maynard's here. Very good, very good. Where in the world you are, what deck you're working with. I am in my office in Palm City, Florida, and I am working. This deck is going to get retired, I think, tomorrow. I have my next workhorse deck all ready to go. I'm going to start working with Spiral Tarot starting tomorrow. That's a deck I've used before. I wear out decks, this is probably the fifth of these that I've gone through. I've gone through more than that when it comes to Spiral, so there it is. Okay, so we've got Anna from Rio de Janeiro working with the Fountain. Don't you love the Fountain? What a great deck. Karen Maynard, Florida Angel Tarot. We've got Adriano in Sao Paulo using Shadowscapes. What a great deck. Dory is in Connecticut using Radiant Wise Spirit, the mini. Jake, who is Robin, is here with me in Palm City, not literally with me, but in the same city. Young Witch Tarot, very nice. Amy's in Greensboro, North Carolina, using this same one, right? The Centennial, or do you have the big one? Oh, and Karen, you've got a question for the second half. That is great. That is great. Excellent. Okay, Angela is in Fort Lauderdale with the Rider-Waite-Smith. Lynette is in Florida using Crow Tarot. Irina's in Minnesota, the Light Seers Tarot, very good. Brenda is here in Delray Beach using the Groovy Tarot. Laura's in Hawaii, aloha, using Crystal Visions Tarot. I love that deck. Marion K. Tarot is here from Scotland. Yay. Using Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Julia's in Savannah using Universal Weight. Sally's in Florida using Hanson Roberts. Pandora Lacora is Gemma from Australia using Bonestone and Earth Flesh. So good. Lisa McCord is here in South Florida using the Radiant RWS in the tin, man. You got to love those tin decks from US Games. Claire C. is in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Didn't bring your deck, but that's okay. So glad you're here. Sarah's here in Miami, originally from Hawaii, using the good old Rider-Waite. Yes, indeed. So happy to see all of you. Let me roll back. Richard Murphy is in Malaysia and using the RWS. Beautiful. Aaron's in Indiana using the Rider-Waite. Dora is in Brazil using the Rider-Waite Smith. Linda's in Florida. All right, so welcome, and you can see why we're Global Tarot Circle. We really are from all over the world. Kathy's in Delaware using the Rider-Waite. Very good. Yes, decks really do wear out, and I'm funky about that because I think it shuffles less well. And so they can get grubby too. You can kind of clean them off. But as soon as I don't feel good about the shuffle is when I have to move them out. I have to retire them. And they become student decks. So why we do 3 meetups a month here? Well, first of all, because you folks keep coming to them. So as long as you keep coming, we'll keep doing them. So this is Global Tarot Circle. Global Tarot Circle was the very first one. It started on WebEx, which is like a program, a platform like Zoom. And we started doing that in like 2010, 2011, something like that. Moved it to Facebook Live and recently have moved it over here to YouTube. So our Cards and Conversation Tarot meetup is our meetup that we do here in Panera in Palm City, Florida, and sometimes in Lutz in Palm City, in Panera, and sometimes even near West Palm Beach or whatever. But due to COVID, we're not right now. So we moved that here. And then I decided that the YouTube channel should have its own. And so we just call that Tarot Meetup on YouTube Live. We do pretty much the same thing, right? It's an hour, half an hour of readings, half an hour of study. Obviously, we talk about different things each and every time. It's always something new and different, but same format. And Amy says the circle this creates around the world feels really good. It really does. It really does. We've got Ann Burns in Australia using that Rider-Waite Smith. AM says it's a Rider-Waite party. Well, it is. It really is. So, readings. Here's how this works. If you have your cards with you, get shuffled. If you have a question, go ahead and ask the question. I will try to take the questions in order. I will read one card in answer to the question. If you would also like to do the reading, you'll put the name of the person we're reading for, the name of the cards you got, and your interpretation. So, if you are receiving a reading, you need to read through the comments to get the whole reading. So it's like a whole spread, but pulled by different people all over the world. And so this is practice. This is practice in reading quickly. It's practice in reading for one another. And it's interesting to see when same and similar cards show up and when there is, the opposite shows up. One person says yes, another person says no. We can take a look at why that is. It's always an interesting thing. So let's start to see your questions and let's get going with some readings. And if you, like Karen Maynard, have questions about tarot cards, tarot practice, tarot technique, tarot decks, tarot readings, we do that in the second half. So save those for the second half. And TK is in India, Karen Tillich right here. And he used to be right here in Palm City coming to our meetup in person. We miss him very much, but very happy to see him here. Dave says, I still have my first RWS deck, which was a gift in 1978, used with some wonderful energy. Never wanted to stop using it. I found another RWS at a used bookstore, and I use that for these classes. That's so cool. Okay. Okay, so I think our first question is from TK, Karen Tillich. If you would like to do this reading, at Karen Tillich, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. I am planning to start my career in project management from scratch. Will I be successful in it? Page of Pentacles reversed. This makes me wonder if you need some project management for your project management. Do you need a certificate? Do you need some education? Do you need to find a particular job or a particular client? I think you can absolutely be successful, but there are some things you have to do first. So let's see what other people have to say. Okay, Celeste. Will my new work partner be easy to work with? If you'd like to do this reading at Celeste Frapp, is it Frappier or Frappier? I have known you all of this time, and I do not know how to pronounce your last name, and now I'm like really embarrassed. Anyway, at Celeste, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. And I have a French last name too, so people say Gaudet, Gaudet, but we say Gaudet. So there it is. Okay, so will my new work partner be easy to work with? Five of Pentacles reversed. Yes. Remember that you're both there for the same purpose and you both have the same objectives. You may not be people who would be friends in life, but if you stay focused on what the objective is, I think you have similar attention to detail, similar ideas about customer service, similar ideas around a lot of things, not necessarily life related, but job related. So I think on that level it will be good. Okay, Linda McHugh. What will happen with the new job with Scott? Okay, if you'd like to do this reading at Linda McHugh, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. And if you find we're moving too quickly, you can do every other one because it's quicker for me to talk than it is for you to type, right? Or just read the ones you're drawn to, whatever feels good. And just remember, if you ask a question, to read through. Okay, so what will happen with the new job with Scott? Linda McHugh. The 8 of Wands reversed. I think there could be difficulties with communication. Things may not move forward very easily or very quickly. I think we need to be very, very careful here. It may not go as well as you would like, so you want to be careful. Okay, Sarah. My boyfriend is going through a challenging time. I'm so sorry to hear that. As I support him, how can I protect myself from his bad vibes? And that's so funny. Like, does he know he's throwing bad vibes around? Sometimes people don't. Let's see. If you'd like to do this reading for Sarah, go ahead and put her name at Sarah. And the question, of course, boyfriend going through a challenging time. How can I protect myself from his bad vibes? The world. And you see how she's like in this circle, in this wreath. That's what you have to do energetically. Put yourself in an energetic bubble, just like you do when you do a reading for people. Seriously, so that energy doesn't come in. That's what I think. And I see Jeanette coming in. It's so interesting, not coming in my normal comment stream, but coming in through my Google Chrome comment stream, which is so interesting. Oh, and you know why? Jeanette is not on today's Global Tarot Circle. Jeanette is on last month's Global Tarot Circle. And that's why. Okay, I understand. So hopefully Jeanette will find her way to this one being live. Okay. Angela Peavy. What do I have to let go? That's a fun one. If you would like to do this reading at Angela Peavy, the name of the card you got and your interpretation, what must Angela let go of? The King of Swords reversed. So this could be a particular person or a relationship. It could also be some bad things in your head from a past relationship, or bad things that someone said to you, even like bad things your father said to you when you were a child. But I would say bad things that a man has said to you, something like that. Okay, Sarah likes the energetic circle of protection. Cool. Okay. Gypsy Jade, I'd love to know what would be most helpful for me to understand during this time of my life. Okay, if you would like to do this reading, at Gypsy Jade, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. And Four of Wands reversed. And that makes me wonder about family, about close people around you, about relationships. And if there needs to be sort of an inventory done there in terms of the energy around relationships, how you're dealing with relationships, what's working and what's not. Hey, Cheryl Jefferson, nice to see you here. Okay, Karen Maynard. In the past week during readings for myself, I keep getting the Seven of Swords, or in the Oracle deck's Deception. So today I asked who is deceiving me. Death card twice. What ending or transition am I missing? So can I tell y'all a story about this? I don't even want to do a reading on this, but if anyone else wants to, please do. At Karen Maynard, the name of the card you got in your interpretation. I want to tell you what I see here. As regards the Seven of Swords. Sometimes the Seven of Swords comes up when we aren't trusting ourselves, where we don't believe we're good enough, where we don't believe we're capable enough. And so I would think death would come up to say you need to make a change or a transition in your own faith in yourself. That's what I think it is. Okay, and I've seen that over and over again with the Seven of Swords. Sometimes it's not someone else deceiving you. Sometimes it's you not trusting yourself. Okay, Richard Murphy. Will I get my job soon and will there be obstacles? If you'd like to do this reading, at Richard Murphy, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Seven of Cups reversed. Yes, I think you will get your job soon, and I do not think the obstacles will be significant or overwhelming. Okay, lots of great readings going on here. Okay, thank you so much. And Celeste says I can pronounce her name either way. Thank you. Okay, for Marion K. Tarot. And, Marion's been with us for a long time, and she has her own YouTube channel, Marion K. Tarot, here on YouTube. Make sure you check it out and subscribe. Okay. What does the universe want Marion to know? If you would like to... Yeah, so it's you, Karen Maynard. It's you. Okay. I think. That's what I think, anyway. Marion K. Tarot, what does the universe want me to know? If you would like to do this reading, at Marion K. Tarot, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Two of Cups. So be a good partner to yourself right now. Recognize that now is a time for real healing for yourself, and recognize that love is around the corner, I think. Okay. Okay. Lots of great readings going on here. Very good. And remember, when you're doing a reading, to put the name of the person you're reading for, or we won't know. Dory, it's okay. It's okay. You can take your time and just do a few if you want. No problem. Oh, and Sarah about her boyfriend says he is sometimes aware of his negative energies, but often in hindsight. Yeah, I totally get that. Okay. Hey, Ms. Voice, haven't seen you in a long time. Nice to see you here. Who will more likely be my mentor, Justin or Troy? So with something like this, I'll usually do one card for each and then pick the one that feels right. So you have permission to do this too and do a 2-card reading if you like. So if you'd like to do this reading, at Ms. Voice, the name of the card or cards you pulled and your interpretation, Justin or Troy? Troy, without a doubt. Justin, Ace of Wands reversed. Troy, the Emperor. Okay. Looking at all of these readings. Okay, Aaron Mattingly, am I going the right way? So, if you would like to do this reading, at Aaron Mattingly, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Is she going the right way? Let's take a look and see. The Hierophant, I would say so, 100%. Yes. Okay, lots of great readings. Thank you, everyone, for participating in this process. Really appreciate it. Okay. So Amy says that's a fantastic additional way to look at the Seven of Swords. When we get, which we're coming to very quickly, when we get to the study portion of our program, I'm going to tell you a story about that. Okay, lots of great readings. And this is going to be, okay, Amy Mauser. What does the universe want me to know? If you would like to read for Amy, at Amy Mauser, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. 6 of Pentacles. It will all balance out. You know, there may be a sense right now that you're doing everything for everybody and you're having a hard time finding the balance. It will all balance out. Everything will be good. You will have the money you need. You will have the energy you need. You will have the health you need. You will have what you need. Okay, and this is last call for reading questions. Dave Victor, ah. So this is an interesting one. Can we do this without getting political? I don't know how to do this, Dave. I don't know. I'm going to rephrase your question. Question, will we in the U.S. have a peaceful transition of power without too much trauma? So you know we have a ban on political questions here. And since the election has not been decided, we don't know that there's going to be a transition of power at all. But I know that there has been concern about unity going forward no matter what. So why don't we do this? Because I think no matter what, no matter how people feel about whatever, we recognize that there is not unity. And so what if we do this as a question? What can be done to restore unity? How about that? And go ahead and tag Dave, even though it wasn't exactly his question, at David Victor, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What can we do to restore unity? Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, in answer to your question, I think whatever happens, it will be, for the most part, by and large, peaceful because we care more about money than anything else. And civil war would be way too expensive, you know, so I think we're going to be okay, really. But I think we also need to look at nurturing ourselves and nurturing one another. And Dina Moskowitz, you snuck in here. Good to see you. And Dave, no problem. That is a question on everyone's mind. Okay. And there are people answering the questions, so go ahead and check. Okay. Hey, Mark Astro Tarot, nice to see you here. Okay, and Dora says, great question. We're going through the same thing in Brazil. You know, there's a lot that's been going on really since 2015 astrologically that has created this as a worldwide issue. Really, really. Okay. So, and Dora says, yeah, Queen of Pentacles is good because it's money, but with a gentle energy and also nurturing of the earth. You know, it's really everything there. Okay. So if you're still doing readings, definitely finish those up. And we are now going to open the floor to questions about tarot. Okay, what would you like to work on? What would you like to study? What would you like to know? Have you had a card come up that you didn't understand? Do you have a question about technique? Do you have a question about card interpretation, different decks? Anything at all, from beginner to professional, what questions do you have? Oh, Pamela Thies. You said I need to further embrace my fire today. What is the best way to do that? Oh, so good. So good. So if we talk about embracing fire, and we could do readings about that, or we could just talk about that. So let me put that question out to you for any of us, and let's tag it, embracing internal fire or embracing fire. How does one embrace their internal fire? And, you know, if I were to do a reading on that, specifically for Pamela, I got the 8 of Wands reversed, which says to me, you know, I feel like you have a lot to say and it's not really coming out. So maybe you need to do some writing or something of that nature. But in general, to embrace one's internal fire, I think a lot of that is work with the solar plexus chakra, breathing into that and opening up to that. Dancing, drumming, creativity, literally being around fire, having a fire. I mean, obviously don't burn your house down, but having flame or fire, eating spicy foods, any of that. So any thoughts about how we embrace our internal fire? Okay, here's one from Dina. Matt Oren talks about scrying with tarot cards. What do you think of that? Well, I would love to know, and I love Matt, and I would love to know specifically what he's saying. But my guess is, I mean, isn't that a similar thing to what we talk about just looking at the cards and either, you know, in a meditation, you can actually see the move and what, you know, what are they doing and what does that tell you? Or when your eyes are drawn to a certain aspect of the card, what does that particular aspect tell you? Those would be the two things I would think about that. Would love to hear anyone else has thought about that. Let's call that scrying, card scrying. Go ahead and tag it that and share. Okay. For Mark. Oh, goodness gracious, you opened a can of worms, can of worms. Discrepancies. Are kings air or fire? I've seen both in relation to the Rider-Waite-Smith system in particular. Which would it be? You know, there is no consensus on this. My way of doing it personally is queens are earth. No, sorry. Queens are water. Kings are fire. Knights are air. And page is earth. That's the way I do it. But I don't think there's any right answer here. And I'd love to hear what people think about that and how they use it. You know, how is that used? I'd love to see that. Okay, and if you have comments on that, tag it court cards or court cards and elements. What are your thoughts on that? I can see you chatting, Karen. Okay, Richard Murphy. How to be unbiased in a professional reading for uncomfortable questions like maybe politics, people asking about their love affair, etc. So important. And, for those of us who are sort of, oh man, there's so much here. There's so much to unpack there. And if anyone wants to ring in on this, tag it bias and tell us what you think. Tell us what you think. And I think it is really important to be unbiased. I think when we start a reading, we have to automatically step into a place of compassionate detachment. We are not the moral police. And even if we are social justice warriors in our own lives, we cannot really be that at the tarot table. Although if we treat everyone with love, we do help healing happen. And sometimes healing helps evolution in the way people think. But I really do think you have to be unbiased. We are not here to be judgmental. And I've gotten much better at that as I've gotten older. So I think it really is sort of a meditative thing. You have to consciously take yourself out of that equation. So I'd love to hear what other people have to say about that. What Robin says about connecting to your fire for Pamela, follow your true heart's desire. Oh, and Pamela says, my dance studio closed this year and therefore my teaching of dance too. Oh my gosh, right. So I think that's why you have to find the replacement for that. And Irene says, dragon breathing. What is dragon breathing? Tell us more. Marion about internal fire. Meditate with the suit of wands. Check fire sign and Mars placements in your astrology chart. Smart. Kathy says, meditate on the violet flame of Saint Germain. Okay. So, Pandora Lacora. When I read tarot for myself or get a reading from someone else, I get a good reading and then understand the guidance, but don't always follow it. Help. Wow. So. What can we say about that? What can we say about getting the guidance but not following the guidance? I would actually want to do a reading about that. Like, why am I not following the guidance? And I wonder if a lot of that, so often that can be sort of a resistance to our own healing, or laziness, or we're just not ready. I would have to say, don't beat yourself up. I certainly have that in my history too. Certainly, I bet a lot of people do. So what are your thoughts? Tag it following guidance. And does that happen to you, that you get good guidance from your own cards or from someone else reading for you and you just don't follow it? What do you think about that? Okay. And more stuff coming in for Pamela. Dave about scrying with the cards. Isn't that like reading the cards totally intuitively? It could be. Looking at the card and letting it come to you. I don't think that's too far off from scrying. I agree. And more stuff for Pamela here as well. Richard Murphy, tarot scrying. I'm developing a way to use pendulums and tarot cards. It seems similar in a sense. Sure. Okay. From Anna, card scrying. Place your hand over a card not turned over. Close your eyes and let the impression it gives come to you. Turn it over and find where those feelings are present or absent in the card. That is brilliant. Oh my gosh. You may not be able to see this, but my head is exploding right now. Do we want to do that right now? Place your hand over a card. So if you pull a card face down, place your hand over. I don't think I can do it in this setting. But what I feel, because I would need to go too deep, but what I feel is warm and round. And what I got was the Page of Pentacles, which is round and, I guess it's warm, it's yellow. So how interesting was that? You know, maybe try that and see what happens. That was beautiful, Anna. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, on bias from Dave. We're humans, so we have our biases, but like a doctor or a lawyer, we need to have a professional attitude. I just remember it's the universe answering the question, not Dave. And sometimes I'll say that to my clients. I'll say, look, you know, if we were having this conversation as girlfriends over a pina colada, I might say this, but there you go. Okay, Cheryl Jefferson, card interpretation of the death card. I have a very ill friend. This card was drawn by myself and a friend of mine, also pulled it for the situation. So that's tough. The death card, and anyone who wants to ring in on this, please tag it at death card. Yes, the death card can mean that death is possible, but it can also mean that the illness will be transformative, that life will not be the same for this person ever again. It does not necessarily mean that the person will pass on at this time. It may simply mean that their life is forever changed, or that this illness is going to change them. It is mostly about transformation. I see it more often come up for people who are pregnant, who are getting married, who are changing their jobs. But, you know, when it comes up for a sick friend, you do have to wonder. And Richard said, dragon breathing, a rapid breath. Oh, the breath of fire. I know the breath of fire. It's a Kundalini yoga technique. It may cause uncomfortable motion sickness or headache because of the motion of taking breath in and out quickly. Yes, I know exactly. Okay. And as far as bias, Dora says you just reach the intellectual level, but don't internalize it. Kathy says, well, the King of Pentacles is Capricorn Earth, King of Cups Water, King of Wands Fire, King of Swords Air. Yes, but there are elemental associations for the four ranks as well. Excuse me. And so, like, I see Knight as air, so the Knight of Swords is air of air, right? The King of Wands is fire of fire. And so it's an interesting thing. Kathy sees the death card as a major ending. Okay, so here's Sarah ringing in on following guidance. Honestly, I forget the message throughout the day. What helps me is literally displaying the card on a corkboard, mirror, etc., to see it throughout the day and recall the message. Yep. Journaling on it could help too. And you know what else can help? Making an affirmation, taking in the guidance, and from that, creating an affirmation that you would speak aloud. And that can really help you because the universe witnesses and then will help you. So turn the guidance into an affirmation and speak it. Richard says for tarot scrying, it is better to use decks with lots of symbology or abstract art to access the intuitive faculty and you see extra meaning in your symbol. Sure, sure. Okay, Amy, following the guidance. Sometimes it's unpleasant to follow the guidance. We humans want to experience pleasure and avoid pain. Also, transformation takes time. Yep. AM says death could be the end of the illness, recovery. Right. And that's the thing. If you pull the death card for your sick friend, it could mean either your friend will die or your friend will recover, which basically you knew that already. And so it could also be that what your friend needs from you has changed. That when your friend was well, your friend needed you to be a certain way as a friend. But now what your friend needs from you has changed. Dory, from the death card, a fresh new start on the horizon. Okay, let's see. Oh, Dina just got the Uncommon Tarot. Yeah. Great deck. Great deck and very good for scrying. Brenda says death card, releasing something with a quick ending. Aaron wants to know people's favorite decks for a new reader. So we really are a wait crowd. And there are so many different weight decks, the Universal Weight, the Albano Weight, the Smith Weight Centennial, the Rider Weight Smith, so many different weight decks. And we are a weight crowd for sure. But if you want something a little different, but still good for beginners, I like Crystal Visions for beginners. I like Robin Wood. I like Hanson Roberts. So tag it, decks for beginners, go. Hey, Stylin' Chica, my friend Peely. What would you ask as a clarifying question regarding the death card? Right, that's a good one. So your friend is sick, you pull the death card. Might you say, what do I need to know about this card, and pull another card? Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So, Richard, tarot question. What does it mean to have a lot of court cards in a reading, like 2, 3, 4 more court cards, either similar elements or people? Okay, I'll say 2 things about that. And if you have something to say about that, go ahead and ring it in. I'm going to give you 3 things that I've seen. Sometimes a lot of court cards are simply a lot of people. They work with a lot of people or in a people job. There's a big family. There's a lot of people stuff. And you don't even necessarily need to figure out which card is which person. We just recognize they've got a lot of people. That's 1. 2 is they all relate to the individual in different aspects of the individual. And so then you really want to look at, each card is a different aspect of that person and how they can integrate and honor those aspects of themselves. Now, I had this one reading with someone, and it was like all court cards. My goodness, I do an 11-card spread, and probably 8 of them were court cards. And she's sitting there with her daughter, and my first thing is, oh my gosh, I see a lot of people here. And she and her daughter both started to laugh. She had just been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. There were really a lot of people within her. So go ahead and tag it court cards. Tell us what you think. Sarah, regarding death, I also pulled death recently. I read it as a call to let go of what no longer serves me, in my case, alcohol. And Sarah says, the Tower invites us to bring closure to major life cycles. Death invites us to experience the metaphorical death so a new one can begin. Okay, we are not doing readings at this point. We do that in the first half hour. Good idea. From Dina, Tarot Decks for Beginners, the Simplicity Tarot. From Pamela, Tarot Decks for Beginners, one that call to you and make you want to explore its imagery. And we've got some other thoughts about decks for beginners, so definitely go through and read the comments, please. Please, we've got a whole bunch. David, court cards to me, especially if there's one of each, represents the significance of family. If they're facing each other, they get along. If facing away, they're friction or neglect. And if both facing in the same direction, they have the same goals. Okay. And we're also now doing Fave books for tarot beginners. Go ahead and check that out. Definitely read through. Okay. So I have 2 things I want to talk about. I promised you a story about the 7 of Swords. I was teaching a master level class for tarot professionals, a small group. And in the class was one person, I was in my 30s, and this person was 70. She'd been reading tarot for longer than I'd been alive, but she was in my class. And I asked everyone to pull one card to talk about their tarot business, how they felt about their tarot business. And the other members of the class were getting the Magician, the Ace of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, exactly what you'd expect. The 70-year-old person who'd been reading for longer than I'd been alive and was a marvelous reader got the 7 of Swords. What it was she didn't trust herself. She had yet to start her tarot business, even though she was more than ready, because she didn't trust herself. And that was why she was in the class with me, to learn to trust herself. Excuse me. Okay, now, for those of you who don't know, on Facebook, we have a Facebook group called Global Tarot Circle. And you can join that group, and that way you'll never miss something we have coming up here on YouTube. And I always ask for ideas for these meetups. And for our last few minutes together, Brenda Elizabeth had asked if we could talk a little bit about spreads or tarot techniques that we might use during difficult times for our own empowerment. How do you use tarot for your own empowerment? Is there a particular spread you use? Is there a way that you use tarot? So go ahead and tag that tarot empowerment. And I will say it's all in the questions that you ask, like, what can I do to be more empowered today? Or where do I need to be more empowered? Or how can I find healing today? Or what is a focus today that would bring me joy? And just sort of doing those questions. Okay, so there's more here about court cards, more here about death. Make sure you read the comments. Here's a new question. How to handle annoying and ignorant clients. We have to keep calm, but tips for dealing with unruly clients. So I will tell you, if they get really bad, refusing to read for them usually calms them right down. Nicely, but just saying, you know what, I'm probably not the reader for you. And that will usually get them to settle in right there. Oh, Karen. Karen says that sounds like a class. So, I do 2 classes here every month. And the classes that come on, like the classes that are here this month, were suggested last month. And so now we know that in December, we will be doing tarot cards for empowerment. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. And Dora says, no spread, just 1 to 3 cards as advice. So again, sort of looking at that question, what can I do to feel better? And you know what else I love is the body, mind, spirit spread. Looking at how can I take good care of myself? 1 card for body, 1 card for mind, 1 card for spirit. So we are in our last few moments. We've got like 7 minutes left. I would like to ask you to start putting in your shameless self-promotion. Do you have a website you'd like to share? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you have an Instagram? Go ahead and put it in. So Mark shares with us an empowerment spread. 3 cards: do, don't do, other considerations. And more advice for the tarot beginner. So we've got more stuff for the tarot beginner. Let me go through and read some of this while we've got a moment. From Dina regarding court cards. One reading I did, a woman got 3 kings. I felt she was needing to cultivate her inner leader and masculine energy. Beautiful. And you know what else? When you have 3 of something, look at the one that's missing and figure out what's missing there. Very good. For Marion, regarding the death card, the card is ruled by Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, keeper of the underworld. It could mean that the illness is deep within your friend's body and will need transformative treatment. Makes sense. Anna, death often shows up to represent the way something will happen, fast, sharp, and sure. Okay, and regarding beginner decks, Hanson Roberts from Sally, small, easy to handle, beautiful, detailed, but not complicated. And for a book, Tarot Plain and Simple by Anthony Lewis. Great book. Oh, thank you so much. Brenda says favorite books, Tarot Tour Guide by Moi, and Anthony Lewis, Tarot Plain and Simple. Absolutely. Here we go. Empowerment. Anna says, I talk to the cards. I ask a question. I pick a card. Then after reading that card, I continue the conversation and pick another, like a conversation. Yes, I do the same thing. I call it a dialogue, but it really is like a conversation with your guides, with your higher power, all of that. Okay, from Kathy for tarot empowerment, pull 1 card for a message for the day to make it the best day of your life and as food for thought. I love that. I love that. Okay, very good. Dina, I do Sashagram Tarot spell on a card I need energy from. Very good. A lot of love here for Anthony Lewis, Tarot Plain and Simple. So in our last few minutes, and people are starting to put in their shameless self-promotion, please do let us follow each other. by all means. And Marcy, nice to see you. What do I need to feel more empowered? Exactly. And why don't we do that as a final exercise for the night? That's such a good question. Let us each pull one card, share what you got. What do I need to feel more empowered? I got the Magician. And, that's an energy I really like to embrace. Absolutely. So I'm comfortable with that. I need to recognize I have the tools, the skills, and the abilities to do what I need to do and let that empower me, which it does. So make sure you follow each other and go ahead, do that exercise. What do I need to feel more empowered? Pull one card, share what you got, share your interpretation of it. If you're not sure how to interpret it, go ahead and ask, and we will help you. And in the meanwhile, I will do my shameless self-promotion. Christiana Gaudet, this is my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Also, please subscribe to StarCast, STAARCAST. On Facebook, please like my page, Christiana Gaudet. On Instagram, I'm at Christiana Tarot. I teach at least one class a month on Zoom. My class this month will be on the 19th of November, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be on the court cards. Yay! 2 hours with me on the court cards. You don't want to miss that. You need a ticket. You can get a ticket on my website, tarotbychristiana.com. Just go to the events. You can also find that in the events on my Facebook page, Christiana Gaudet. Okay, so we've got some readings coming in. Okay, Marion, you got the Empress, man. So what do you think? Know that you are the goddess and let the goddess work through you. Ms. Voice, 10 of Wands. Maybe know that you have carried a heavy burden, but you do it for a reason and it will get you where you need to go. Aaron got the Knight of Cups. Proceed with love. Lead with love. Style and Chica, the Chariot. Giving me just do it vibes. Heck yeah, just do it. You are in the driver's seat. You are the master of your universe. Irene, 2 of Pentacles reversed. Focus on one important thing at a time. Very good. Dina, Page of Wands reversed. Venture forth from student to leader. Heck yeah. Karen Maynard, the Star, make some plans because I'm on the right path. You know you are, girl. Pamela, Ace of Pentacles, just start. Know that the universe is supporting my life. Just start. AM, 4 of Wands, gathering, community, party. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Sarah, I can help you with this. Sarah says to feel more empowered, I got the Devil reversed. Not really sure what it means. Releasing limiting beliefs, explore the taboo. You already said you just gave up alcohol. When I see the Devil reversed, very often I see that journey of recovery, letting go of our addictions. So you are already doing it, girl, and it is going to empower you. Amy, 8 of Wands reversed, release anxiety and don't get wrapped up in my head. Indeed. Dave, King of Cups, lead with kindness. Doing so in the face of hostility shows your own strength. Nobody has the power over you that you don't give them. Amen. Amen. Okay, and Richard got the Page of Swords as his empowered card. So speak your truth, man. Speak, write, share. Laura, Queen of Cups, stay emotionally balanced, loving, and listen more to my intuition and be kinder and gentler to myself. So beautiful. Marcy, and we can thank Marcy for this exercise. I got the Strength card. For me, it means that it is all about flow. Whatever comes in, no matter how dramatic, I observe from my wise mind. So beautiful. Ann Burns, I got the 9 of Cups. Sit and look like the man on the card. Self-satisfied, believe in myself and my skills. Yes, and know that your wishes will be fulfilled. Yes, yes, yes. Kathy, Empowerment, 7 of Pentacles. Don't look back, move forward. Okay, so remember StarCon. Mark your calendars, January 22nd through 24th, 2021. There would be no other place you would rather be than on your phone, your tablet, your computer, hanging out with us, learning with Benabel Wen, with Mary Greer, with me, with Brenda Elizabeth, with Marion K. Taro. She'll be teaching. We've got Maria Luisa Salazar. We've got Nancy Hendrickson. We have some great, great people. There is no place in the world you'd rather be. And we will be updating our page with vendor information, psychic fair information, all of the information you need. So, and Richard said, speak. Yes, speak, write, and share. Yes, accurate. Got guidance to write an article for an LGBTQ plus publication if chosen. Be chosen. Be chosen. Folks, I want to thank you so much. Please join us back here, right here, Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, for a 1-hour class on the Suit of Pentacles, getting real with the Suit of Pentacles. Now, here's the trick. On this channel, go to the playlists. The playlist is live tarot webinars. You can see what's scheduled for the month and hit a reminder so you don't miss anything. And you can see what you've already done. So if you've missed a class that you want to see, or if you want to review a class, you can find it there. Hope to see you on Saturday. Thank you so much. Remember to like this video and subscribe, please, to this channel. You know, I wanted to let you know, I have just been given creator status here on YouTube that allows me to do even better stuff for you. And I wouldn't have that without you. So thank you so much for pushing my numbers up to the point that I can be an official YouTube creator. Thank you all so very much. Really appreciate all of you. Have a great day. Have a great evening wherever you are in the world. I will hope to see you back here Saturday morning. Be good. Take care. Love you. Hugs to all of you.